I know, I haven't made a video in forever. Again. But this time I actually do have a legitimate excuse, which I will cover in just a moment. This is probably going to be a bit of a longer video just because I do have updates to go over, as well as this team that I'm pretty sure you guys haven't seen yet to go over, and future plans. So, yeah. Updates first, real quick. As you guys know, I am a full-time college student, and I'm a biology major, so a lot of my classes, well, not a lot, but some of them definitely tend to be, for lack of a better term, batshit crazy in the difficulty. Some examples would be like trigonometry and chemistry 108. Now, I'm sure to some of you that's probably really easy, but I'm not the best with numbers, and yeah, that's neither here nor there. You know, which classes are difficult and which departments are clearly a matter of opinion. Point is, I go to school full time. Now, recently, I actually got a job at Dixie, which for those of you who don't know is just a grocery store. And yeah, I got a part-time job as a cashier, so that's pretty great. I haven't had my official first day yet because I still have to go and do a drug test, and then I have to do a background check, and it's probably going to take like another week or so before I'm actually on the schedule. But I've already aced the interview and everything. I'm officially, unofficially hired for, because I don't know how else I would say that. Anyway, yeah. So, what I'm saying is, I'm busy enough with school as is, as you guys can tell, because I haven't been uploading as much. So, throw on a part-time job on top of all that, and my already irregular uploading schedule becomes even more irregular. So, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know I'm not going anywhere. But, I don't upload that frequently now, as is. So you can imagine how, with a job in the mix, I'll probably be uploading even less than this. So, I'm sorry if, you're, I don't even want to say fan, like I'll say regular viewer, if you're a regular viewer of mine, and you look forward to my content, but it will be slowing down even more than this, surprisingly, because apparently it's possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my personal life. Now, in terms of the channel, these battles, I want to keep them, to around 20 minutes at the longest, but I'm a very opinionated person, as you guys know, and I'd like to talk about my opinions on things going on in the competitive Pokemon scene, which is why I'm going to start something that's basically going to be a podcast, and I think I'll call it something along the lines of Real Talk with Ryan or something like that, because, alliteration is a thing, and yeah, that's pretty much that. Maybe I'll be able to use my webcam and actually record myself talking instead of just my voice, and that'd be kind of cool, although I don't know how I would go about doing that, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If not, it'll probably just be like a static image, I'll flash stuff across the screen when necessary. Point is, if those videos will definitely be a bit easier to record because I don't have to go through the process of picking a team and looking for battles and picking, getting a decent one and then playing it back and everything. It'll be a lot easier. And yeah, I'll probably be able to do those a bit more frequently than I do these battles, but I don't know if I'll let them take over the channel just because I doubt you guys are going to watch, well, I doubt all of you guys are going to watch them, which is understandable, it's whatever. And yeah, I don't have any qualms about that. If you don't want to listen to me do a podcast, then by all means feel free to skip it. I will not be offended in the slightest, because I want you guys to watch the content that you're interested in. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm not expecting him to get a lot of views, if any at all, but it's still something I'd like to do, so I'm gonna do it. As far as other stuff, hopefully I'll be able to do some PO related videos. That will be covered in a completely separate video because PO is a whole other can of worms. Because as you guys know, I used to really not like them, but opinions change and people change and whatnot. And hopefully I'll be able to do some, group showdown / PO type of stuff with people. because I have friends who play this game, and I could probably reach out to a few YouTubers that I do know, and yeah, hopefully that can be a thing in the very near future. So, with all that rambling finally out of the way, good lord, that took a minute, or several, we could finally get into this game. So, what's going on, guys? Ryan here. Today we have an XY-OU game, standard fare, using a not-so-standard team. I do actually get a small chunk of feedback, and a small percentage of that small chunk says that I use a really standard teams. So how's this for standard? We have actually technically three gimmicks on this team. So this team consists of Choice Scarf, Blastoise, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Max Speed, Max Attack, 4 HP with a Timid Nature, Water Spout, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam for coverage, and Rapid Spin. And no one ever sees this coming, which is pretty nice because maybe they think it's going to be my Megamon or something. I'm not sure what they think. All I know is I catch a lot of stuff off guard with that Scarf Water Spout and get a lot of surprising KOs, so Blastoise is clearly the man of the hour. Then we have Charizard. This actually is my Megamon. It's Mega Charizard X, and it's got Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw, and Overheat. Now the reason it has Overheat is because, one, a lot of people seem to forget that yes, Charizard did get a boosted attack, but it still has 130 special attack when it's in its Mega form, so that's not too shabby. A Stab Overheat, which has like 140 base power, and then factor in Stab, so it's pretty crazy base power. Can actually dent a lot of Mega Charizard switch-ins, like Fly Score or something. They can come in, take a couple hits, and kill it off. Also, just having a non-recoil fire move is really good sometimes when your opponent has something like, Scizor, which has a ton of HP, and will definitely make you take some nasty recoil, or Bisharp, which can Sucker Punch you and make you take that damage in addition to the Flare Blitz recoil. So yeah, my opponent just happens to have both, so those are just some examples off the top of my head. And yeah, so sort of gimmicky Mega Charizard X, still really like it. And yeah, standard Dot Rotom. This one is at Resto Chesto though. It's Leftovers Pain Split, but other than that we still have Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, and Will-O-Wisp, the most standard Dot Rotom moves in existence. Standard Dot Choice Band Scizor as well, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Pursuit, and Superpower, because it's still pretty good in this generation, although I'm thinking about changing out Scizor's item, just because I don't know, I don't really like being locked into a move with Choice Band. We'll see where that goes. Another gimmick, and some of you are probably going to cringe when I say this, but I have a purely special Tyranitar. It is not Choice Specs or anything like that. It's specially defensive with Stealth Rocks, and then its attacks are Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Fire Blast. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why the hell would you even run that? How's that viable? And blah blah blah, whatever. You guys already know, Ice Beam and Fire Blast were very common techs on Tyranitar. I say techs, tech moves to hit Gliscors and Landorus's and Skarmory's and whatnot, respectively. So yeah, those moves were very common tech moves. And since Pursuit Trapping isn't really as big of a thing this generation as it was last generation, I've took to running Ice Beam and Fire Blast on the same T-Tar set with Stealth Rock and Crunch. And then I thought to myself, I really don't need Crunch per se, because since this is a T-Tar, your opponent's probably going to go out of their way to burn it anyway. And yeah, I figured I'd utilize its very respectable base 100 special attack rather than that monstrous physical attack. Because although Dark type moves did get a boost in coverage this generation, Electric type moves, Thunderbolt, for example, still have pretty good coverage in their own right. Granted, it doesn't do as much damage. I'm still able to catch things like Gliscors and Scizors in the same game. So, it's something to look out for. And, yeah. I don't think this is going to be a mainstream set anytime soon, or like a standard Smogon set or anything, but I really like it. So I'm using it, and yeah. Finally, standard sub-disable Gengar with Focus Blast and Shadow Ball, because Ghost Fighting coverage, and sub-disable Gengar is still one of the most amazing offensive Pokemon in OU in my opinion. So that's this crazy team that I have, that I don't even remember how it ended up getting put together, but I'm using it. Unfortunately though, as you can see, my opponent does have a Goodra. His Scizor is the only potential Mega, and if it is Mega Scizor is really bulky on the special side. Conkeldurr's most common item is unfortunately Assault Vest. Mandibuzz and Sylveon are both naturally specially bulky. What I'm saying is, this sucks for me because I won't be able to just spam Water Spout with Blastoise like I wanted to, because that's one of the wonderful things about this team. You normally get at least 1 or 2 kills with Blastoise just because people aren't expecting the Water Spout. And yeah, like it a lot. And there's not much else to say about it really. It's kind of a bummer that he has so many specially bulky things. Pretty much everything on his team, bar Bisharp, can take at least 1 Water Spout from Scarf Blastoise. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, this team also tends to struggle with Assault Vest Conkeldurr, but if you play Gengar right, you can actually come out on top, and hopefully I will be able to do that in this match. And yeah, I'm actually gonna probably need my Rotom, because I can burn the Bisharp, I can burn Scizor, I can Volt Switch around on the Mandibuzz, I can Paint with the Sylveon, and yeah, Rotom's probably gonna be a good guy to keep around. Kitar's probably gonna be useless because half his team in the form of Scizor, Bisharp, and Conkeldurr, and even Mandibuzz to an extent, because I am fairly special, just get to come in on it for free and do whatever. Oh, and Sylveon. So, yeah. Anyway, I've rambled way too much, so let's just finally put the play button and start the playback. I have to lead with my Rotom, and he led with Conkeldurr. That's fine. Just predicting the first turn knockoff, I'm actually going to stay in Hydro Pump, because that's what everyone does with this stupid thing for some reason. They always go for knockoff first, especially if you have a Ghost type, which is why I'm just going to stay in, like I said. Then I Hydro Pump again, just to coax him into starting to go for Drain Punches. He goes for 1 there, and right here, fearing the Mach Punch just to get me really low, I'm actually just going to Hard Switch to my Gengar rather than Volt Switching. But I go into it, immune to the Drain Punch obviously, and right here I'm going to set up the sub, knowing he's forced to go for knockoff, and right here I'm just going to go for the obvious disable. Because for some reason, no one ever predicts this, and yeah, even though they see the Black Sludge and everything, they just let me disable their knockoff. I don't know why. Anyway, right here, I'm just going to go for Focus Blast, predicting the switch into like one of his Dark types, or even Sylveon, just to, you know, take a hit. But no, he stays in, Ice Punches, and gets a crit, unfortunately, as I miss my Focus Blast. That sucks. I lose Gengar for nothing, and I don't even get damage on Conkeldurr, so I'm mad. Going to Charizard, just Mega Evolve straight away and go for Flare Blitz, because I really need that Conkeldurr gone now that Gengar's out of the picture. We went into Goodra, which is hilarious because it just gets Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw comboed out. Goes to Sylveon, more than likely going to go for a Fairy move, so I go to my Scizor. Now because Charizard is part Fire as well as Dragon, it actually takes Fairy type moves neutrally, but I want to keep my Charizard as high amount of HP as possible, because we're basically playing a game where if I go out to it and Flare Blitz, something dies. Anyway, I U-turn right here with my Scizor and just go into my Blastoise. Most Mandibuzz tend to be physically defensive, which is why I thought Water Spout might actually kill it. But no, Mandibuzz is way too bulky, and he's just going to Toxic my Blastoise. Now, because it's offensive, it's not ruined by any means, but because he lowered my HP, Water Spout's damage is like on a timer, basically. So I just go for it again, trying to take out the Mandibuzz, but he does make the smart switch into Sylveon. I'm fine with that, really. Just going to go into my Scizor now, as he does reveal the Protect here. And if he has Protect, he probably has a Wish, so I have to be wary of this thing Wish passing, because if Conkeldurr gets a Wish, we're back to square one, and that's no good for me, because, again, Conkeldurr is just so annoying. I can't stand Assault Vest Conkeldurr, and it's probably one of the most common Pokemon in OU. Oh well. Went for a bullet punch on his protect, and he goes to Bisharp. I predicted that, made a double in Charizard, and right here, this is what I'm talking about, as he does sucker punch me. But because I have overheat, I don't have to take Flare Blitz recoil, and yeah, my special attack is dropped, so my physical attack is still sky high, which is why I'm going to go for Flare Blitz now, predicting him to Mach Punch me just to, you know, have a double down, but no, he just lets me kill the Charizard, I mean not the Charizard, the Conkeldurr for free, so we're looking good. Gonna save Charizard just because I can still fire off Dragon Claws, just go right into Rotom, predicting the obvious Bullet Punch with Scizor. That works out beautifully for me, as I am just going to go for Will-O-Wisp, hoping he's the slow, bulky Scizor, and it turns out he's Mega, and he does U-turn out. But my Rotom's faster, so that's all fine and dandy. Goes to the Sylveon, and right here I'm just going to go for Pain Split, because this Sylveon's looking like support, so I'm actually predicting Heal Bell, which he actually does turn out to have, which is great for me. Because I get a lot of HP back from this thing, we're looking good, but I know I need Rotom later because it completely shuts down the Scizor, which is why I'm just going to switch into my Scizor now on this Sylveon, really just trying to scare it out. I really have no reason to go for Bullet Punch, which is why I'm just going to make the not so obvious switch into my Charizard. Yeah, I was trying to catch the Mandibuzz, but either way, he got the wish, and I just one-shotted a freaking Sylveon from 100% HP, unboosted with a Flare Blitz. Charizard. Oh my god, ridiculous. On the double down, I'm just going to go to my Rotom, and right here I have Volt Switch predicting him to predict me against Will-O-Wisp, therefore going to Mandibuzz, but he didn't do that. And my Rotom was faster, so I really don't know why he didn't. Either way, he U-turns, and my Scizor eats that up, obviously. Right here, I'm actually predicting him to go for Roost, which is why I'm just going to go for Superpower, because it will be super effective after he loses his Flying typing. But because this is actually a physically defensive Mandibuzz, like I suspected, a super effective Choice Band Superpower from Scizor is not enough to kill it. He didn't actually Roost again though right there, even though my attack was dropped. I definitely would have gone for it just to try to live, but he actually decides to knock off my Choice Band, and I'm just going to kill him now with this Superpower, and that's all fine and good. Right here, I don't need my Scizor, but I don't want to risk him starting to Swords Dance or anything, because then he might become a threat, which is why I'm just going to go to Rotom, but it turns out he's just going to go for Knockoff, and I'm just going to burn the Scizor again, because there's absolutely nothing he can do to my Rotom. And yeah, so I hope you didn't hear my watch beep just there, as I am going to go for Pain Split, and he's just going to start keep knocking off, because either he doesn't have Roost or / Sword Stance, or he knows it's pretty much game over. So yeah, he keeps knocking off. I Volt Switch, going to Blastoise, and eat up the knockoff, as he does actually knock off my Choice Scarf, which is funny, because I'm pretty sure he didn't even notice that I had the Scarf this entire game, but whatever. I'm just going to go for safe Ice Beam to kill off the Scizor, because I didn't want to like risk missing Hydro Pump, or risk like Water Spout for some reason not killing, and him having Roost, and just, you know, sad times all around. So yeah, my game, and it was a fun one, most definitely. Medium length, like I said, made way longer by me rambling on and on about something and yet nothing. So GG to 10sam20. Had a lot of fun with this. Also, guys, normally I don't, stop to point this out, but I know you hear those gorgeous tracks in the background. They're new, quote unquote, and by new I mean new to me, because I just recently heard them, obviously, and I wanted to use them. I don't know whether or not I'll be able to use these in the future, just because I don't know, the copyright situation with these songs. However, like I said, they are absolutely beautiful, and if you weren't listening to them before, you might want to rewatch this video just to hear those songs, because they're pretty great. As always, the links to those songs will be in the description down below if you want to check them out. And yeah, just thought I'd, plug the music randomly, because, yeah, I don't know, I really do enjoy having background music in my videos. I've actually had it since my very first upload, because I've always thought, not that it was unique to me, but I don't know. For some reason, everything Pokemon related, in my opinion, is just more enjoyable with background music. So again, check out the tracks in the description down below. They are pretty damn good. And honestly, I've been listening to these two songs, like switching between them all day. So yeah, well, I'm saying two songs. I don't know how many I'm actually going to put in this video, but yeah, they are pretty fantastic. So that's pretty much been me rambling on about audio, background audio no less. Anyway, I think that's a good sign that I need to stop talking. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. So remember to leave this video a like rating if you enjoyed it. Leave it a dislike rating if you didn't like it, and tell me what you didn't like, so I can work to improve that in the very near future. Leave me a comment, tell me what you thought, share with your friends if you want them to see it, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. And some final food for thought. My channel isn't, I don't want to say it's stagnant because it's not. I do get like a couple subscribers every so often, and my audience is in that slow, painful stage of growth where like it's growing, but it's growing so slowly, it's, you know. Anyway, because I have such a small audience, I really do appreciate all the feedback and support you guys leave. You know, so every like, hell, every dislike, comment, you know, even if I know you in real life, it still brightens my day when I read that. So if you want to make me happy, like I said, leave me some feedback. And yeah, this time I promise I'll shut up for real. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.